Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Arkansas Storm Team Meteorologist Hayden Nix. Behind me we have Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan as well as Kristen Kennedy. We're working on watching and making sure to keep you up to date with our severe weather situations expected to take place across the natural state this afternoon. So let's go ahead and show you what we've got going on here. The Storm Prediction Center has put out this risk map. It actually was upgraded to an enhanced risk overnight last night and just highlights an area that we're seeing that greatest potential for the damaging wind threat will be the primary factor we're going to be concerned with as these thunderstorms form into a line. But there's also the opportunity for some large hail and a couple of isolated tornadoes, certainly not out of the question either. So make sure to stay weather aware today and also have a way to receive multiple severe weather alerts. If you're traveling, make sure that you downloaded the AST app. You can be alerted that way with warnings that go across your screen, but also we'll be live if necessary to cover any tornado warnings that could take place. We do have a tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. this evening. You can see all the areas that are highlighted at this point in yellow, so that's almost all of Arkansas with the exception of far east central and northeastern Arkansas, Benton, Washington County and far northwestern sections of the state, and Ashley and Chico County and far southeastern Arkansas. It does include the metro there as well. As I mentioned, the bigger concern would be the damaging straight line wind threat, but because there are still looking at ingredients that could help us have a few brief tornadoes, that tornado watch was warranted for that reason. But here's one good thing to see out of it. The window of severe weather is going to be quite narrow here. We're not expecting this to last all night long, so this will be a time when people are still awake and we can make sure to keep everybody informed. Satellite radar imagery here at 1:06 on this Wednesday afternoon. You can see showers and thunderstorms right on time here, trying to move into areas of far western and northwestern Arkansas. But you also notice that there's a good bit of green that's developing out ahead of this activity here, and that could actually work in our favor, trying to use up some of that storm fuel. We'll just have to continue to watch how these showers develop here. We could also see maybe a couple of thunderstorms trying to pop up in this area too out ahead of the line. So all that will be watched as we move along into this afternoon. But generally, that line that you see right there, and I'll go ahead and stop this so you can see what's happening in real time. And where the arrow is showing, that's the line that we'll watch where it starts to form and then quickly sweep across the state, exiting Arkansas a little bit after 8 o'clock based on the latest guidance that we're showing here. And that's what I'm going to show you here with Forecast Track. So you can see it's doing a pretty fair job of showing what radar looks like in real time and trying to animate that forward here. But I don't want you to focus on saying this is the exact thing that you'll see replicated on the radar app that you have on your phone. Just kind of giving a general idea of the storm mode and the timing of what we could see as we continue on this afternoon. So this is at 2 o'clock. You can see the line still trying to remain broken, but beginning to quickly form out in areas of western Arkansas. These individual thunderstorms, those are the ones that could really tap into that storm fuel and work on becoming severe pretty quickly. So we'll have to watch those as they continue to move across the state. Now, this one forecast track I do want to mention here does specifically want to keep this from forming into a line, but based on what we've seen here with the newest data around noontime, I really think there will be an opportunity for a thin line that tries to form very quickly and then moves across the state. So if that is the case, once that line forms, again, damaging wind threat will be that primary factor. Between 60 and 80 miles per hour will be kind of the general range that we could see with any severe thunderstorm. But embedded in that line, and we've seen this before, it's a very typical severe weather setup, maybe an embedded brief tornado inside that line there. Now we've got it stopped at 5 o'clock, so between 3 and 5 o'clock we should start to see these showers and thunderstorms moving through central Arkansas and impacting us. So a wet commute and a stormy commute could be possible for a number of locations in central Arkansas and especially into southeastern sections of the state as thunderstorms continue to work through. Probably the area that we need to watch most closely would be this part of Arkansas where there might be a little bit more energy to work with from temperatures being able to warm into the mid and upper 70s this afternoon. So with that, we'll watch southeastern Arkansas, all the natural state, but this could be a highlighted area where maybe a little bit more severe activity is more likely. Now, as we move along here, you'll see by 8 o'clock, that's why we mentioned that severe weather concern closing pretty fast here. By 8, we should have most, if not all, activity crossing over the Mississippi River at that point, and then continuing to 9 and 10 o'clock. All thunderstorm activity will be done, and that's good news to see there that this will not be an overnight event. So let's go back and to the top and recap this, and we'll continue to show you what we've got going on. So we do have that tornado watch that's in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. It does include the majority of Arkansas from the western border, Oklahoma and Arkansas state line, to the Arkansas-Mississippi state line, but only a handful of counties right there in east central and southeastern Arkansas included with that. Ashley and Chico County not included with it. So that's the tornado watch we do have in effect, and this is our current satellite and radar imagery. We've got those showers and thunderstorms trying to form at this time. That'll continue to work its way across the state. Now, if we can, I'll get my director to switch over to Fox computer. I do have the satellite and radar imagery animating there. I want to show everybody, yeah, there we go, what's going on at this time. So we've got that kind of pencil thin line of showers and thunderstorms moving through areas of northwestern Arkansas at this point, but we've got a little bit of activity out ahead of it that could give us a chance to maybe see some of this line not become quite as stout as it tries to use up and cool down some of the atmosphere, removing some of that storm fuel. So hopefully that could work in our favor, but let's be planning for the worst and hope for the best with this setup here. Make sure to have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts and continue to watch this very closely as we move along this afternoon with you. Of course, we will have the latest updates, not only on social media, but of course on the air as well. KARK Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan will be starting with the newest information at 4 p.m. and continue to provide updates at 5 and 6, and then wrapping everything up at 10 o'clock. And then we also have Arkansas Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin with Fox 16. He'll have an update at 5:30 as well as at 9 o'clock. And then we'll also have the updates provided on social media throughout the afternoon. So there's plenty of ways to receive any updates here. And of course, make sure to download the Arkansas Storm Team app. That's one great way to keep up to date with us, but also go to our website, KARK.com or Fox16.com. Right there on the homepage, when we have severe weather, we have our severe weather banner right at the top. Easy access to anything that we have up to date at that point. That's going to be our update for here at 1 o'clock. We'll be back at 3:30 with additional information, but make sure to stay weather aware out there.